Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Don't forget, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. If you'd rather watch us, go to our YouTube channel. All right, so Dr. Umar Johnson explains his thoughts on polygamy during an episode of Hell of the Week with Charlamagne the God. He explains why explains that his beliefs that monogamy isn't natural to alpha males. He even compares to animals who alpha males, they don't always have the same woman. He said he's never been married, but he will have 2 queens. Linnea, I saw you comment on this on our Instagram. What are your thoughts on his statements?
I need for this man to shut up. Like, he is just all and it's saying not a nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's interesting you talk about uplifting Black people, but you sat on the Breakfast Club and you try to tear down Deion Sanders for the decision that he made, which is completely ludicrous. Completely ludicrous. Ain't you the same person that's supposed to be building the school millions of years ago that ain't never happened? The same person that's always talking about, Black people, ... But then you go around and you will completely try to annihilate somebody's character. You know what I mean? And just listen, let me tell you something. You ain't no alpha male. See, men like that, they got little penises. But we're not gonna go there because you all bark and no bite. That's really what it is. And please refer back to the disclaimer that Chike said previously that I can't remember right now in regards to the comments that I'm making right now. They're all mine. And they're not reflective of the Stephen Knight Show, but that's all that I'm saying. He gets on my damn nerves. I just told my boyfriend, and we just had this conversation, and you talking about this man right now, and I'm over it.
Well, it's interesting when they were talking about, because Charlamagne, the guy that asked him, he said, it's been rumored you have more than one wife. I don't know if that's true. And that's what he said. I've never been married, but I will have 2 queens. And when he made the comments that alpha men are not, it's unnatural for them to be monogamous, all the men said, you lost me on that. I don't know if they're married. They said they're not being in any parts. Let me ask you now, you're the married man in the group. What are your thoughts on his comments?
Well, I thought he was married. I thought I witnessed a ceremony where he married 2 women at one time. I thought I witnessed this on YouTube, a full ceremony.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, because I thought I witnessed he married 2 women. One was
talking about. I don't know if that was real or not.
I thought that was real. I thought,
Well, he said that he wasn't married though. Like he said it on like he's not married. He did a whole situation with these two Black women.
Yeah, I thought
they are some form of docile, submissive women who don't have no opinion. So they were okay. They're okay with it because I'm telling you, his mouth, I would have punched him in the face.
Go ahead, Naya.
Yeah, I find a lot of good in Umar. I like Umar. I like a lot of things that a lot of his views. I don't like everything, but I do find that he has a lot of good ideas, and they're not his. They're from a group of other leaders. But I like him. I think he's interesting. As far as his statement about alpha males being what? Alpha males what?
It's unnatural for them to be monogamous.
I don't know about that statement. I'm not sure where I stand on that, but I guess you would have to ask someone who considers himself an alpha male if that's a natural thing. For me, I don't know if I'm an alpha male or not. I've been told I am. Do I believe it's unnatural to be monogamous? I don't believe it's unnatural, but I do think that some men can be in, a number of relationships, not all under the same roof, but I definitely think some men can handle that. Some men, not all men, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a friend used to say that a person's only as faithful as their choices or their options. Only person's as faithful as their options. And so he was saying that typically men who have means that are like, have money, they typically aren't in his opinion faithful. But let me ask you, Chike, what are your thoughts?
So I believe to each his own or her own. And if that's how you want to get down, if that's the kind of life that you want to live, then so be it. That's for you. I don't think it's for everyone. And I've had debates about this whole alpha male thing. and I think people have it twisted. I think an alpha male is anyone that has a family and who takes care of their family, and they do not shuck the responsibilities that come along with having a family and one wife. If it is in your purview to have multiple wives, then you are doing that same function as a man that takes care of one wife and children. You do that for your multiple wives and your children. Being an alpha male is taking care of your business and doing it with authority and responsibility. It has nothing to do with how you catting around and how many times you can use your penis and how many times it's almost like you're equating an alpha male to being sort of like a kind of pimp. That's not what an alpha male is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, well, last story says, according to a study conducted by Cornell University and University of Colorado, couples who have joint bank accounts experience greater relationship satisfaction and are less likely to break up compared to those who keep their money separate. The study found that joining bank accounts can benefit all couples, especially those with scarce financial resources. So we've studied thousands of couples and looked both into their transaction data, as well as surveys over many years studying their relationship satisfaction. And what we found is that couples who have joint accounts, they stay together longer. This is Joe Gladstone, assistant professor of marketing at University of Colorado. So now you're you're married one. I'm not going to ask your personal business, but do you see any validity to this study?
100%. We have a joint account, and then we each have our own several accounts.
Yeah.
I can believe that without even reading up on the survey and the surveys and the data. I definitely can believe it. I think it makes a lot of things easier and smoother. The house needs to be managed. No matter how you guys set up your personal, private situations, or house needs to be managed collectively or individually, but through a collective manner, through a group effort. One place where everybody can see what's what and what we need to have and take care of, and can use for certain things where we go out for a friend or family dinner, and we don't want to have to think about what individual is going to have to take care of that or is going to take care of that. Just use the,
Right.
So I think it's very beneficial. I really do.
I was wondering, do they stay together because it's harder to separate the finances, with the joint account? But no, I don't know.
Finances is one of those hard, tough conversations to have between couples in general. Especially what I find with Black American couples, because most of us come from a shoddy past in finances. None of us were taught, none of my friends, anything about money, on a real level when it comes to building.
Chike, what are your thoughts on this study?
Hell yeah. You know the saying, it's cheaper to keep her. It was vice versa. Cheaper to keep her, cheaper to keep him. And also too, if you have someone that's able to help you build and bring equity to your situation, it gives it so much more value, right? You can do so much more together than you can do separately, right? And if you're building something and it's successful, why would you really want to leave? Or if you do want to leave, it puts barriers around the situation to make you think about it maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times before you decide, I don't want to be in this. Because if you decide that you don't want to, and you really want to break free, you're basically starting from scratch compared to what you have together. Yeah. So I can see that.
But what happens in a situation, Syleena? I mean, I'm not saying you've been through this, but just me hypothetically speaking, if your partner is someone who is not good with finances, do you feel comfortable having a joint account with that person?
And this is where conversations come in. Like Nair said, you have to be able to have those tough conversations. My boyfriend and I, we have those conversations all the time because at some point, we're gonna, we want to get a house, and that's a different dynamic, and it's us jointly. And then yes, you're supposed to have, your separate account, that you have your account, he has his, and then you have your joint account together. You have to have those conversations, and you have to be uncomfortable in those conversations in order to move forward, because we can't move forward collectively if we're afraid to have those conversations about finance and keep it all the way 100. Like Nair said, we didn't learn about money and finances. A lot of us now are learning what our parents didn't know, and they didn't teach us what we didn't get taught in school. And we're now learning this, but we're learning it and having to get out of debt versus us not even starting out with debt, unfortunately. So coming from that place, and my boyfriend and I talk about credit all the time and where we are. And one of the things for us personally is what we're going to do is we're going to sit down all of our bills, his bills, my bills, and we're going to look at everything collectively. Yeah. And we're going to equal those together, because it'll be easier to work on it together than us trying to do it separately. And it'll take longer versus us doing it together, helping each other, and that'll take, so it'll cut off that time. Right. Us to try to reach certain goals. And it's important. Like even now we have a vacation account. Like we say our ones throughout the year, we come at the end of the year, we put all those ones that we save throughout the year in the vacation account. So now we're talking about a house. We need to figure out how much we need to have, whatever, and then how much is going to need to go in an account. My boyfriend is good with budgeting. Like he can make out a budget. And what they say, I'm good at things that he may not be good at. He's good at things I'm not good at. But I'm the queen of paying shit on time. Right. So that's where we fail. You work out that budget, and I'm gonna do my little Kim and make sure everything gets paid how they supposed to get paid. Like, and that's how things are supposed to be. So you just have to be mindful. And if you have a partner and you know that they still flaky, you're gonna have to set some limits and some boundaries. You get a limit on your debit card, a week, a month. You go over that, you're gonna have to make that up. Yeah. But you gotta hold that person accountable.
That's true. It's a partnership.
I just want to add one thing. It's a few things I could talk about all day. Right? It's like people, business, and money, health, spirituality. Like this is right up my alley. Right, talking about money. And just want to throw that little point in there, just to reiterate. A lot of us didn't learn about money or any debt, anything, how to use money to your benefit or otherwise. Most Black Americans that I know are the children of YouTube and these influencers on social media who have brought that conversation to us, right? Because all this information has been out there in books, but we weren't reading the books. We weren't taking the classes on the side. Yeah. There is a lot of good in social media in that regard, because a lot of us learned from other Black American, investors, analysts, credit repair, gurus, so to speak, whoever these people are. A lot of good information is there, a lot of bad information. There's a lot of good information in there too that has raised a lot of us over these, last 5 to 7 years in some cases, in some cases more. So yeah, and something I can go on all day about, but yeah, I think it's beneficial to have a mutual account. Back to that.
I'll leave it there. Listen, thank you all so much for Hot Topics, Linnea, and you got something to say, Linnea?
I just want to give a shout out to my son. My son will be 30 next Tuesday.
Wow. Wow. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to
Happy
my
birthday.
son, Jackson.
Happy birthday.
You getting old, man. You getting old.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. 30s are great. 30s are great. So happy birthday to him. Again, thank you all for Hot Topics. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year. I can't wait to see y'all in 2023. Kick off season 13. And Chike, I will see you in movie reviews, and we will be right back after this.